Okay, guys, what's up? How to be more disciplined. Let me make my thumbnail. Discipline. Okay, I made my thumbnail. So, how to be more disciplined, all right? A lot of people, I'm only 22, but, for me, I used to be the type where, my personal experiences was when I was in high school and middle school, I was very undisciplined, all right? I used to I used to go to a good private school and a college preparatory school, but I was always like, I would always get bad grades. I would always I remember at one time in my life, I was quitting sports just to play Fortnite. And every day I'll come home and I'll be like, oh, I like do YouTube, I like do this, I like start a business, I like do this and do that. But I never did it because I was undisciplined. So it got to the point where when I was 16 years old, I decided, you know what, I'm going to start changing my life around. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to start joining football again. I'm going to start doing my combat sports and running and swimming. I'm going to get good grades and take college credit classes. And then I started working at my landscaping job, making money and stacking up my life skills and experiences. And pretty much I just got my shit together at age 16 and I was more disciplined. So how was I able to achieve disciplinary, right? How was I able to become disciplined at 16 years old, right? Because, a lot of people, they don't get disciplined. They don't take their shit serious till I don't know. I know people my age. I'm only 22, but people my age, they don't want to shit together. They don't more discipline. They don't more consistency. They don't take life serious, right? They're still goofing off. They're still, oh, hey, Ice Spice, oh, and then coming home eating McDonald's, and they said they're going to be working on their YouTube videos or trying to start their business or working an extra job and all that, and they just never do it. So discipline is key, right? I remember when I started going this was in 2019 when I started being more disciplined, right? In 2019, I was junior and I was about to become a senior in high school, and what made me wake up was I was like, brah, you know what? I'm gonna be a young adult soon. I don't like just screw up my life. I don't like disappoint people, right? So it got to the point where I was like, number one was you gotta of course put accountability on yourself, but also you don't want to disappoint people. All right, so think about everyone that you love, right? A girlfriend, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your dog, maybe your grandma, but she passed away already. Think about them, right? People, your lineage. Think about everybody. Maybe your friend or your teachers that believed in you and they encourage you. Maybe your football coach or your boxing coach or your swim coach, your volleyball coach, whatever that it is. People that you care about and you love. You think about them, all right? This is what I did when I was 16. I thought about everyone that I cared about, and I thought about myself, and I said, you know what? I was talking to God. I was talking to myself. I said, you know what? I don't want to be a disappointment. I don't want to disappoint people, and that's my greatest fear. All right, you gotta fear this shit. You gotta fear disappointing people. You gotta think about what I thought about, right? I was thinking about if I was 100 years old at the end of my life and I wasn't able to retire my parents, if I wasn't able to take care of my mom, if I wasn't able to take care of my girlfriend and my kids, if I wasn't, satisfied with my life and I never got anything done that I wanted to get done, I was scared of that shit. I was scared of disappointing myself, disappointing my family, and not only disappointing my family, but disappointing God. Because God put me here for a reason. God put you here, everyone here for a purpose. And if you're out here, you lacking, right? You fucking lacking. You jerking off and shit and you acting like a dumbass. If you lacking like this, guys, you gonna be disappointed. And you gotta be scared of that shit. You gotta be scared of God in a good way. You gotta be scared of letting your parents down. You gotta be scared of letting yourself down, right? Letting your teachers down, letting your bosses down, letting everyone down, right? Your dog that you love. You gotta be scared of letting him down. Right? Because you were I'm not disciplined. I'm not. So I told myself, I said, bruh, you know what? I remember I was playing football and then I quit football and then I feel like I disappointed my parents. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck, bro, fuck. And I disappointed myself. And then I remember during summer in 2018, I think my mom, she had to pay for I had to do online summer school. And it was pretty much, it was an online class. So my mom, she had to pay for the course, which was already like $100. And then after that, she had to pay for this textbook that we had to do. And pretty much it was like another $100. And at the time, right, my parents, they were kind of not necessarily struggling with money, but my mom, she was off during summer because she was a teacher, right? But anyway, she wasn't getting paid, and you had some other stuff that we had to pay and blah blah blah. So she paid for my schooling, right? And then I remember I was playing football at the time. I quit football because I wanted to be a jackass and play Fortnite. And then after that, I was supposed to complete the course by July something. I was looking I was supposed to I don't know what I was supposed to do, but I think for the final exams for that course, I had to complete everything online, but I also had to schedule in-person final exams. So there was a proctor in the room and I had to do the final exams in person. And I was like, what the hell? I was supposed to do that in like July 20th, and it was already like August 1st. And school didn't start till like maybe August 10th. So I thought that I had like till August 10th to do the course, but I didn't do anything. So I was like, oh shit, mom, I failed my course. I got to retake them. And then already I was disappointing my mom. I disappointed my dad because I stopped playing football. And I stopped training and doing boxing and whatever just to play Fortnite. And I didn't feel good with myself. So I was like, damn. I was scared of disappointment at that point. I was scared of that. I was like, piece of shit. That 5K don't know. Fucking acting like a dumbass, right? Piece of shit. So anyways, after that, I made a 360. I said, you know what? I joined football again. I was playing sports. I was working at my landscaping job. I was grinding. I was taking college credit classes. I got 3.5 and higher. And then I was just grinding, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was just grinding. And then I graduated 2020 during COVID. And I was working 2 jobs. I was working Taco Bell, working 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., only getting paid $11 an hour for Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sundays, I'll work at landscaping, and then I'll work Taco Bell after. I was trying to build my YouTube pages and my channels. I was hanging with the boys, training, going to church, praying to God, hiking, swimming, going to the beach, learning different skill sets, stacking up my income, my life skills and experiences. I was working 3 jobs at one point when I was 19 years old. I was working enterprise. I was driving cars. I was working at my high school. I was working at Taco Bell. Then I was working at restaurant jobs, and I was warehouse jobs. I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, and I was training and trying to start a business. And here I am now. I'm trying to fucking start this shit, and I'm trying to be consistent, and I'm trying to make millions of dollars, and trying to be rich as a person and be well-rounded. I'm trying to take care of my girl. I'm trying to take care of my kids. I'm trying to take care of everybody that I love, my family, my mom. And I did this because I said, fuck that shit. I'm not disappointing. And when I was scared of disappointing, it got me disciplined. Even when I'm filming this video right now, I filmed like about like I filmed almost for like freaking 5 videos already. I'm hungry. I don't want to film videos right now. I love filming videos. I love making content for everyone. But right now, it's freaking 12:28 p.m. All right, I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. I want to go ahead and right now I'm watching like this documentary or like these war movies about World War I and World War II. So I want to watch those movies right now while I eat, right? I want to go ahead. I got to pick up my girl after. And it's hot right now. I want to get out of the room. I want to talk to my dog is downstairs. He's waiting for me. I got to go feed him. But it's all about discipline. Sometimes in life, you don't want to do things that you don't want to do, but you got to force yourself. You got to discipline yourself. You don't want to work 2 to 3 jobs. I didn't want to work 3 jobs. Right? But I had to change my mindset, and I had to make sure that I forced myself to do it. So that's the next thing to do. How to be more disciplined. You just force yourself. I don't know how people, they like, you know, God gave you one brain, guys, all right? If you believe in God, if you believe whatever creator that made you, the universe made you, whatever, if you believe in a Big Bang dumbass theory, whatever you believe, oh yeah, you have a brain. You're here with a brain. You have arms, legs, mouth, eyes, whatever. You have a brain, and your brain is the one that you have to control. The only person who controls what you think is yourself. The only person right now that I just move my arm is myself, right? I made myself move my arm. I made myself move my right arm. I made myself, you know, kick my leg up right here. I made myself turn around like this 360. I made myself say the things that I'm saying right now consciously, right? I'm conscious being. I'm the only one who can force myself to do things that I don't want to do every day of my life. You can watch Andy Elliott. You can watch Andrew Tate. You can watch David Goggins. You can watch anybody. You can talk to your coach. You can watch any kind of motivational videos. You can talk to your friends who's encouraging you, but they can never ever force you to get up every day at 5 a.m. to work, to force you to work 3 jobs, to force you to come home even if you're tired and focus on your business and educate yourself, to force you to go train, to force you to go to church and pray, to force yourself to drink water. Let me drink water. To force yourself to eat healthy. To force yourself to do things that you don't want to do. To force yourself to stop looking at Ice Spice. To force yourself to stop eating fast food and eating McDonald's, right? The only person in control of yourself is you. God made you in control of your brain. The Creator made you in control of your brain. Why aren't you forcing yourself to be disciplined? Why aren't you forcing yourself to wake up every day and get out of bed and just do the things that, even if you don't want to do it, even if it's the most basic things, like wipe your ass, wash your hands, brush your teeth, pick up your dog shit right away if he poops on the ground. Pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Force yourself. Right? The only person who will do them is yourself. So that's something that you guys gotta learn how to do. It's like a switch. It's like you turn it like a light switch. You turn it on and off, right? You just gotta find that fucking. You gotta unlock that side of your brain where you just force yourself. All right, like your brain is so big, but there's like only so many. Like I don't know what the research was, but like people only use like so many percentage of their brain. What do you do with the other percentage, right? It's probably like the laziness, right, in your brain, like. So discipline yourself, guys. Force yourself to do things you don't want to do every single day, even if it's the most basic things, right? I don't know how to tell you guys. Like someone in my comments is like, well, how do I just force myself? I said, I don't know how to force yourself. You just got to go ahead and look at yourself and be scared of disappointment. And you just got to look at yourself and, think about all the bad possibilities, like your Doctor Strange. Think about all the outcomes if you don't do it right now. You're not scared of that shit? I force myself because I'm scared of this shit. I don't want to live one life. God put me here for a reason, right? I got to get shit done. I got to retire my mom. I got to do this. And this time is ticking. So if you don't know how to force yourself, I don't know what to tell you guys, right? So next thing that you guys got to do to develop discipline is, this is a good one. I love this one. It's called developing gratitude. You guys may be wondering, what does that have to do with discipline? What do you mean developing gratitude? Okay, guys. So I know a lot of young people, they always complain, they always cry, they're always, oh, my life sucks, I'm depressed, oh, I gotta go vape because my boss scolded me at work and I gotta come home and babysit my cousin and, life is not fair. I look at them, I said, bruh, you don't have gratitude. You're not grateful for your life. You get arms, legs, you're born in a first world country with a bunch of opportunities and resources, and you have all the basic necessities that you need in life. You have water, you have air, you have a house over your head, you have a job to go to work. You can quit your job and find another job if that's, you have freedom. You have a choice, right, to do that. You can speak, you can learn, you have a family, you have food, you have a bed to sleep in, you have electricity, you have Wi-Fi, you have everything that you need. You have the basic things, but you're not grateful. So in order for you to develop more gratitude, right, you gotta be educated. So I feel like a lot of people, if they're fucking ungrateful in life, they're not educated upon the realities of the world. Okay? Of the world. Of what's going on in the present, right? You're not educated about what's going on in the present, but you're not educated upon history of what happened before. All right? So this is a good thing, all right? This is what makes you more disciplined. All right? Because when you have gratitude and you learn about history, if you learn about, okay, in different countries right now, what's going on, Russia versus Ukraine, or China versus Taiwan, or tariffs and all this other shit, right? You're learning about Israel versus Palestine. You're learning about different countries and Africa and how, like, just look at all the world events that's going on right now. Don't overindulge in it. Don't be looking at it all the time, right? But I'm saying that if you read about it a little bit and you watch videos upon it and you look at different things, like even just like homelessness, or like you look at different states in the US and you look at, oh shit, what the hell's going on? Or you look at like Lahaina, Maui, right, the other year, people's houses just burned down. You look at the California wildfires in January, or I think it was the beginning of the year. Look at everything that happened. People have it worse. All right, so look at your life right now and you say, okay, I have the basic things. I woke up, I have a family, I have God, I have my dog, I have food, I have water, I have gas, I have electricity, I have transportation, I have an opportunity to work multiple jobs, I have the opportunity to improve my life and make a business, I have an opportunity to go to church and read the Bible, I have an opportunity to go to the gym and train and become stronger and become well-rounded in every aspect. You would realize that if you look at other people's lives in different countries and you research how bad shit can get, right? You would be grateful and you would be disciplined to do things that you don't want to do every single day, because people in other countries don't have the opportunity or the privilege to do things that you're supposed to do. People in Africa, people in a small country in, what's a country that's very poor? I don't know, guys. Let's take a random country like the country of Jordan, or the country of not Philippines. Philippines is like a second world country. Thailand is like a second world country. I feel like what's like a third world country, like a bad country? India. No, I'm just kidding. But like a small little country or a small little town in Europe, a small little town in Africa, or a small little town in Asia, right? You look at what they're going through right now. They don't have food, they don't have water, people my age, people your age, they don't even go to school. They gotta go to war already. They have it worse. People losing their arms and legs, people losing their family. They don't even see their parents because they work all day. They're trying to get water. They get fucking drink water. They get sick and they get diseases and viruses. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, if you're not educated upon the realities of the world and how bad it can get, you're not gonna be grateful. You know, you'll be complaining about every little thing. And if you don't have gratitude, because for me, I have gratitude. That's why I do things that I don't want to do every single day. Because I know that there's people in the world who's my age, people younger, people older than me, they can't do the things that I can do every day on a day-to-day basis, right? So that's what's forcing me to be disciplined. Because I don't want to be... People in different countries my age would trade lives with me in a heartbeat. They have food, they have water, they could work, they could start a YouTube channel. You know, they have a mouth to speak, they have freedom of speech to a degree. You know, they have clothes and shelter, they have, you know, hot showers, they have warm water, they have all this other stuff. People would trade it in a heartbeat. I have the basic things and I'm grateful. Even if I don't, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, this is not the situation I want to be in the rest of my life. I'm grateful because I get to have the opportunity to improve my life. A lot of people in different countries, they don't even have the opportunity to improve their life because their country is so fucking like just like third world country. It's just terrible, right? So that's why that's how I discipline myself. Gratitude. Just having gratitude and educating. Also, if you look at history, some of the things that I'm learning right now, I'm watching videos and movies and Netflix videos and documentaries and going on ChatGPT and reading articles and websites. I'm re-educating myself upon history, right? If you guys are not educated on history, you go look at the 1900s, the 1800s. Let's say I'm researching the 1900s, right? So at the start of the 1900s, we're going to do a history lesson real quick, okay? 1900s. The early 1900s, you know, obviously, right, you have the World War One. World War One was from 1914 to 1918. It was only for 4 years. And America didn't get involved into World War One till 1917. Okay? So we was only in the war for 1 year. And pretty much the war was like it started off from an assassination. It was like some Serbian they assassinated I think his name was Ferdinand. I forget his name, but he was like an Austria-Hungary guy. He was from the country of Austria-Hungary. It was all in Europe, right? This took place in Europe, the continent Europe. And then pretty much after they assassinated this guy, pretty much Germany, they came in and they were backing up the Austria-Hungary guy. And then I forget like the other country, but they were backing up Serbia. So pretty much it was Germany. It was mainly in Europe, the World War One, right? So the short story short, we had World War One for 4 years. And then America didn't get involved in 1917. And America was friends with like Britain, France, Russia. He was also friends with Japan. Interesting, yeah? Because Japan, we were enemies with them in World War II. So I don't know if you guys know. You guys are very uneducated upon these subjects. So this shit happened, World War One. After World War One, like I'll say like 1917 to like 1920 or 1919, for like a couple years, they had the Spanish flu. Fuckers was getting sick. We had World War One, then we had the Spanish flu, and then after that, right, we had the Great Depression. I think, yeah, this was during that time, right? Great Depression, where the economy just collapsed. If you watch the movie, it's called Schindler's List, right? Is a movie about the Great Depression, and you can watch that, right? How it affects the economy, the jobs, money, etc., the government. It was all like, this was all back to back, bro. Okay. Then after that, right, in 1937, wait, no, not 1930, 1939, I think, World War II happened. Oh man. So World War II happened, right? The war, Germany, Europe was getting conquered. Italy was helping Germany. So it went like this, guys, right? The Axis was pretty much our enemies, I guess. So you had Germany on the Axis team, you had Italy, and then you had Japan. So they pretty much made a deal with each other that they would not fight each other, and you know, it's kind of like a pack, right? You don't attack each other. We work together in a sense. If we need help, we'll help each other. And then later we had the Allies, right? We had America, the USA, we had Britain, We had like I think did we have France? France. We had the USSR, the Soviets. We had I think we had Canada. We had China. So pretty much, short story short, World War II happened, right? We joined World War II in 1941 after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, right where I live. So we got involved in the war. We were fighting in Japan. We were fighting in Europe. You know, we were fighting in Normandy. We was fighting Italians, and we were just having an all-out war. To make is, if you're educated on history, you would realize that shit was worse back then. Shit, it could get hard. Your life is easy, so shut the hell up. Get shit done. Be more disciplined. And I feel like too, if you don't have discipline and you're lacking in life, it's a mockery to God. God put you here for a reason. He gave you the basic necessities. You were born in a good country. You were born with opportunities, and you're still gonna be lazy. People, and it's a mockery not only to God, but it's also a mockery to other people in different countries who don't have the necessities. They don't have limbs. They're going to war. They're losing their friends during battle. They don't have clean water. They're drinking fucking doo-doo water in the sewers. They don't have clean food. It's a mockery to them. So hopefully you guys get disciplined, and hopefully you guys enjoy today's little life lesson and mini history lesson of the 1900s. All right, guys. I see you guys later.